We're going to use this video to go over the X factor method. Okay, now this works for whether you just says factorise or solve. So for the first one, factorise. As a reminder, we draw our cross. At the top, we do A times C, which are these two here multiplied together. And we put the number in the middle, which is this 5, at the bottom. We are looking for numbers that multiply to make 4 and add to make 5. So because I'm multiplying to make 4, here are my options. The one that makes the 5 is the 1 and the 4, so these go at the sides. We then divide both of these by the number in front. And if we can, we simplify. So this now tells me what my double brackets are. The denominator is the number in front of the x. The numerator is what goes on top. Denominator in front of the x. Numerator, what's on top. Now I did put the 1 in front of the x there, but you don't need to. In algebra, we hide the ones in front of a letter, so that is my answer. I don't make it equal to 0. I don't find what x is because this is an expression. It's not equal to 0 and it just says factorise. So that is my final answer. Let's do the second one. This one again just says factorise. So I'm going to start off like before. A and C go here. So A times C is 24. And the number in the middle goes at the bottom. And we're looking to multiply to get the number at the top. So let's look at our choices. Which pair make the number at the bottom? The 3 and the 8. So this goes at the side. We take both of them and divide it by the 2. And we simplify if we can. Now as before, denominator in front of the x, the other number on top. Denominator in front of the x, other number on top. And we don't need the 1. Let's have a look at the third one. This one now says equals 0, so I'm going to have to do that extra step that I showed in the last video. So A times C at the top, the other number at the bottom. Numbers that multiply to make 30. Now which pair of these make 17? This one. So these are the numbers that go out the side and I divide them both by A. This one can be simplified, so I simplify. Denominator, numerator. Denominator, numerator. But this time I've got the equals 0. So each bracket gets put equal to 0 and we find out what x is. And there we go, we have our two solutions. We do the extra bit because it's got equals 0 and it says solve. When it just says factorise, I just stop when it gets to the double brackets. All right, let's do the next ones. The next ones have some minuses in. A times C is minus 2. Number in the middle, minus 1. Now this, from my previous knowledge, I already know that because we're multiplying to get a negative number at the top, the signs in my brackets will be different. Okay, one of my numbers will be a plus, the other a minus. So numbers that multiply to make minus 2 is just 1 and 2. I have to make a -1 though. The only way I can do that is 1 take away 2. They are my two numbers. I now divide by my value of a, and I simplify where I can. Now this is the positive one, so this I'll put with the bracket. I've already put a positive in. And this is the negative one. Sorry, I've actually put them in the wrong way around. Denominator here, numerator here. Denominator, numerator. Let's do another one. A times C, 18. And we've got to get a -11. Now again, signs are the same, so I'm either looking for 2 plus or 2 minus, using that previous knowledge of mine. Okay, numbers that multiply to make 18. Now, which one of those makes a -11? 2 and 9, but it'll have to be -2 and -9. So let's put those in, divide by a, and then simplify where we can. Denominator, numerator. Denominator, numerator, and I stop there because it does not say solve. Let's do the last one. Numbers that multiply to make -20. So first of all, let's get the factors of 20 down. Now, -20 tells me one's positive and one's negative, and I've got to get -19. The only way I can do that is -20 plus a 1. -20 plus 1 is -19. Now I divide by the number we call a, and as always, simplify where I can. So denominator, numerator, denominator, numerator. But this time, it equals 0. So I have to do the next step where I put each bracket equal to 0 and solve. Now I hope you found those first 6 questions simpler to do.